Creatures of the Wind is one of my favorite American fashion success stories. I like it when the little guys come out on top. Last season there was a very strong couture flavor. Where have you taken that this season?
We kind of like maxed out our desire to make crinolines and corsets and things. Now these are vinyl shifts with hand embroidered and hand woven fabrics.
Much more about kind of separates and sportswear this time.
And I think this collection is kind of sexy too, which we haven't really explored before.
What I love about what they're doing is they've taken this kind of idea of playful, really ornate, gorgeous fabrics, but they've made them in sort of more daytime apparel. They're sort of turning that idea of what fabrics are supposed to be on their head, and I think that takes a lot of courage.
You've called the collection Candy, which could be anything.
It's a little less literal and more just about the idea of like kind of artificiality.
And the appeal of artificiality, and the appeal of like a hard plastic surface, and there's such like an intensity of color and saturation and texture and like hard candy.
Candy, but slightly off. There's a slight sourness in the sweet.
It's not something that's wholesome, it's kind of like sickly and wrong. It's not good for you, but it's still really appealing.
They have that kind of element of wrongness, and that they take kind of weird risks. Like, I think it was like a fake leather in a gown with this sort of like taffeta type fabric. Shouldn't really work, should it? But it does.
The wrongness and the vision come from being from Chicago. There's a sort of outsider vision in what they do.
They're not sort of plagued by needing to fit in because they're not here, and I don't think they're absorbing the same sense of style and seeing the same things. I think they have a totally different point of view.
They're kind of outsiders, and you were outsiders in a way as well, and I wonder if you relate to that sensibility with them.
We relate to pretty much most of it. Obviously we have a very different brand, but we have a great deal in common in terms of not coming from New York and needing the support of the New York community to help us like even get started.
When we first started off, we were these two weird guys making stuff in our basement, and when we first began, a lot of what we were doing was an attempt to show what we could do. Now we're able to relax a bit and investigate more what we would want to wear if we were women.